Can I steal your presents?
No.
The white knight father. Ruining the kids' lives.
Can you take this out?
No.
This is embarrassing.
I don't care. My dad calls me a whore all the time for no reason. Something is wrong with your father. This is a psychological war zone. And when you get out of it, you are going to be one big, bad, powerful motherfucker.
Said I was emotionally abusive. Nothing's going to happen to you, baby.
Honestly, I don't give a shit.
This week is Narc Week. So if you want to get gaslit, but also validated at the same time, and maybe I might yell at whoever your parent is indirectly, then you are exactly where you need to be. I'll see you tomorrow. I'll see you the day after that. And I'll see you the day after that, because it is indeed Narc Week. Also, just before we keep going, can I just say, I don't think we're gonna have 5 videos all next week. I don't think so. So like if we miss a day, like bitch, it's still Narc Week, okay? Thank you. It is finally time for the expanded content universe. Let's do more. I have a Patreon. And y'all, can I just say, I am so mad that I didn't do this sooner. My Patreon is not run by some strange shadowy figure or some company or something. It's literally run by me. It's basically like my little blog. You're getting anything that I don't want to hardcore edit, make a thumbnail for, try to play the YouTube title thing. Just stuff that I legitimately want to make. If you want to join, it's patreon.com/BOZE club.
I don't want to be hurt. I'm 16. Like, my mother's supposed to protect me. She's starting to hurt me.
Felony's not right. That's bullshit. That's probably don't call y'all.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. The Narc Mom's perfect partner, the ever defending white knight father, just ruining the kids' lives because not a single person in the home can defend them. Okay.
Divorce. This is it.
You're getting a divorce from your white knight husband? Yeah, right, bitch.
Hello, Sheriff's Office.
Okay.
What's going on?
Okay.
So my mom, she has drunken 2 liters of wine, and she's kind of, ever since her father passed away, it's just been kind of spiraling.
2 liters
there
of
was an
wine.
argument started earlier where she had said, I don't know exactly what happened because I wasn't there for this, but she had said some stuff to my sister, and my dad got involved. And I don't know how it escalated, but she ended up throwing like the fan in their bedroom at him, and then my sister held him back, and she started scratching my sister. And
Okay, just gonna pause there. Just a heads up. If throwing objects in your home has been normalized to you, please know that it is wrong. And it's really gonna hit you when you get out of that house and 10 years go by and you realize nobody throws anything at you.
they're safe in my room. I have them locked in there. I think my dad is in their room, but she's in the kitchen right now.
What's her name?
Ken? She doesn't know that I called, so...
Any weapons in the house?
Any firearms are locked away behind a safe in my dad's office. She does not know the code or anything to that.
Jesus.
Any sort of weapon would be like kitchen knives. I don't expect her to get... Mom?
Was it Tyler?
We need to talk.
Hey!
Hello.
How are you? Tyler, can you take this out?
No. She sees the cops immediately. Her authority is threatened. She tries to get control by telling the child something to do.
Tyler, can you take this out? I literally thought it was Jackson who had just
Don't
gone out.
act like you didn't. Just...
Yeah.
I literally...
Okay.
Hey, take me.
I don't need to take
Okay.
you. I need to talk to you. I need to talk to you.
Okay.
I'm here.
Desperate attempts to control the situation immediately. You take this out, and I know that you're here to arrest me because she knows that she's done something bad. So she's like, yeah, go ahead, take me. These are desperate attempts to be in control of the situation.
I just need to talk to you.
No, I need to take me.
Oh, here comes the pity me.
Come, stop right here.
No,
Come here.
take me.
Come here.
Where's
Come
your
here.
she's in
Come
control.
here.
Quick. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Roll
sir.
around. Do your stomach.
Sorry.
Yep.
I'm sorry, sir.
Oh, sorry. Pull your arm behind your back.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry, sir.
Move this arm behind your back.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yep.
I'm sorry, sir.
No, you're not.
Well, I don't know if you're going, but you are now.
I'm so
Here's
sorry.
the thing. The police come in and they're immediately in authority, right? And she still tries to control the narrative. How do you think it is in the house when she thinks that she's ruling over the kids and ruling over her husband? And she continues to escalate and escalate and escalate her control. Jesus Christ, dude. I don't think people understand when this kind of abuse or behavior has been normalized to them, how fucking bad it is. This is abnormal. It's abnormal. Even if it's all you've known, it's not supposed to be this way. It's just not.
Please, can you take the cuffs off of me?
I'm not.
You really hurt my back.
Oh,
We're
shut
past
up.
that point now.
No,
Yeah.
no, sir.
Do you not realize when you're in the wrong?
Really?
No.
No, I do. Yeah, it's embarrassing to me too. Can you
Your
please?
kids are watching, your son's watching
Can
you
you
get arrested.
please?
Yep.
Your two younger siblings just watch you get arrested.
When this
Because of
doesn't
my
work,
child.
oh my God, there it is. I was going to say, when this doesn't work, this please, she's going to switch to a new tool. And oh my God, there it is right there, blaming the son. What is this? It's called narrative rewriting. It's monstrous. It is, I bet you, we are going to see so much narrative rewriting in this whole thing. Like blame and narrative rewriting, they go hand in hand with each other, and they're fucking insane. It's like when the narcissist cannot win within the confines of the rules of the game they're playing right now, what do? They rewrite the rule book.
Can you please tell him to go?
Okay. Come on, roll to your.
Please.
Roll this way. There
I
you go.
honestly
There you
can't
go.
see.
That's okay.
My glasses
All right.
are in the sand.
So what I'm gonna get you to do.
Sir, can you see my glasses?
I got them. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna sit up.
Okay.
There you go.
And will you take the cuffs off and put
I
the
will not.
glasses? No, because I can't see. I seriously.
I'll put your glasses on.
Okay. Can you take the cuffs off of
I will not.
hands?
You can stand up.
Please. No, I was literally walking out with y'all for that reason.
Okay, come on.
Can you take your cuffs off, please,
Nope.
before my neighbors? You're already
In front of my
literally
neighbors.
break my neck.
Troll
for that
22
place.
radio. I'm 1095 one female. You'll send me EMS.
Yo, this is another thing too. She said, oh, this is in front of my neighbors. Your neighbors already think you're crazy. Like, how many of you guys know someone that like tries to also rewrite the narrative? Oh, this neighbor loves me. Oh, this neighbor thinks X, Y, and Z about me. But like everyone like secretly knows like, no, we all think you're crazy, but we're just not going to say anything because it's easier that way. Girl, they already know you're crazy.
No, there's no reason. My husband wanted this because he wants me
Okay.
to. Can you please? I swear to you, I will not do anything. I promise. Can you please take the cuffs?
I will not.
No,
Can
you were throwing
please
shit
help?
at kids.
No,
So
my back actually literally hurts.
And we're gonna get EMS out here, okay?
Okay, can we sit right here?
We're gonna go right here to the car.
Okay, that's fair. But can we please? No, my back literally hurts from the fact that you
do some stretches.
knocked me way more than I deserve.
Yo, let's get the blame counter going. So far, we are at 2 different situations where she's blamed people. Well, actually, excuse me, it's 3. She's blamed the son, she's blamed her husband, and now she's blaming the cops. Are we taking shots? No, don't take any shots because you will not even make it halfway through the video, and then I would be responsible. Okay, we are already at 3. Let's keep it going.
Can you please take the cuffs off?
No.
I'm not gonna run. I swear to God, I'm not gonna run. No,
come
I
up
will
here on the
literally
curb?
sit on the curb. Yeah, no, I really will.
Oh my God.
You want to sit here with her?
Can you please take these? Can you take these off? I promise, I will not move.
We're a little bit past that part.
Yep. I love, like, it almost brings a tear to my eye how seriously the officers are taking this because they heard how nervous the son was. They heard a rundown of what she did. They believed him immediately. Oh my God, thank God. Like, dude, that's another thing. There's 2 types of narc parents. Actually, there's a lot, but let's narrow it down to 2. There's the type of narc parent that is super nice to their community and everybody loves them, but behind closed doors, they're just a real piece of work. And they use the community's interpretation of them against you to make you think you're wrong, right? And then there's also the type of narc parent that is just an absolute fucking demon, but they convince you that nobody will believe you or nobody will care and do anything. It's very real. So it really like warms my heart that the police immediately realized, oh, okay, you're throwing shit at your kids. We see what your attitude is immediately. We're not going to play this game. You're going in cuffs. There was no conversation because that's exactly what the narcissistic people want to do. They want to have a conversation and have an opportunity to trick you and manipulate you and see how much power they have.
So you understand we just came to talk and figure out what's going on.
I don't know what's going on. Yeah, you do.
No, I didn't even know. That's what I'm saying. I will sit here.
Okay, sorry. We're already there. Tell me if you've heard this one before. Something happens, some argument happens, an issue. It is very clearly the other person's fault, and you are trying to explain it to them calmly and concisely. It could not be any more concise. A toddler could understand it. And then they hit you with, I don't even know what's going on. I don't even know how we got here. I don't even know why you're so upset. And then you're sitting there like, I just explained this all to you A to Z. And they're like, well, I don't know what's going on. Girl, it's a tactic. It is a fucking tactic. And she just did it all over again. And here's the thing. Do you know what that preys on with you? If you are a self-doubter, which these people usually plant a seed in you of that, if you're a self-doubter, you'll think that you're being unclear. You'll think that you haven't explained it properly. All because they start crying and saying, I don't understand how we got here. Please know, you have explained it beautifully. You've explained it so beautifully that they are backed into a corner and they're faking amnesia now, okay? So you did it really fucking well if they start doing that. And then secondly, they know exactly what's going on and you have put them in a place of accountability. So the ball is still in your court and you can figure out what to do there. But just know you are not wrong in any way, shape, or form. Whether it's a parent, a partner, a friend that does this to you, they know exactly what's going on. And when they pull that card, it means you've explained it well.
I will sit here. I will be calm. I promise. I promise. Can you please? My back hurts.
Oh, we got a med unit coming to check on you.
No, please. Please, this is my favorite neighbors.
My favorite neighbors! My favorite neighbors!
Oh, when you sober up, you can talk to them about it.
Oh, trust me. I am beyond. Please.
Beyond what?
Please. I'm beyond something.
You're absolutely not. I can smell you from here.
I don't give two f***s.
Oh.
Those are my favorite neighbors.
Here we go.
Literally right there.
Okay, well, I'm sure they'll understand.
Rebecca. Tell Rebecca she will come.
Please, go get my flying monkeys, please.
I'm sure they'll understand when you talk to them tomorrow.
Please take these off of me.
No, man, at this point, you're under arrest for obstruction.
For what?
Yes.
I didn't do anything wrong.
Absolutely.
Y'all literally
Yes,
came to my door.
You absolutely did. Yes, you
Y'all
did.
literally threw me on the ground at my house.
Blame number 4, okay? Even though she's already blamed the officers once, I'm gonna count that as number 4 because it's a brand new blame.
So, trying to get her to talk to me, she hands a bag of trash to your son.
Yep.
Right there in the living room. She just keeps on walking. I'm trying to tell her to stop.
They
stop,
saw,
stop,
that
stop.
was-
So I reached out to grab her arm and she turned around and swung. So she's going to go to jail.
Yo, also back to that trash thing for a second. One thing that these people will try to do is they'll do something so disrespectful, so power hungry, so controlling, but it will be something like the officers walk in, she takes the trash, hands it to her son and says, take this out right now. And that action actually means a lot, but if you call, and you'll feel it, you will literally feel the control freak in your body, okay? But they can try to convince you, what? What are you talking about? All I did was ask you to take the trash out. Now you're confused, right? This is a fucking nightmare. This is actually a nightmare.
So based on whatever else we have that has happened here tonight, that's what we've got.
I mean, literally, was never not in a. Can you at least put him in front of me?
No, ma'am.
I'm a woman.
A little bit for
I'm a
control.
human being
Okay.
who had no idea that this was
Still doesn't know.
So you decided to make a scene in the house telling us to take you away, and then...
I had no idea.
Do you remember any of this?
Yeah, wait, question. Hey, chat, if you didn't do anything wrong, would you immediately walk up to the police and say, take me! Take me! Take me! Like, my girl went full drama.
All I know is that my kids are pissed at me
So you
That's
have
blame
no
number
clue why you
5.
decided to walk outside.
That's blame number 5.
because I figured it was best to walk away.
Okay, and when we tell you to stop, what are you supposed to do?
I was literally doing what y'all asked me to do. Do you know?
Absolutely
Please.
No,
Please
actually,
go.
hold on. You know what else? That's blame number 6. I was just doing what you told me to do. If you hadn't told me to do that, I wouldn't have done that. Even though this isn't even true. Baby, that's blame number 6.
Kim, what's your birthday, Kim?
I want my lawyer.
So you are being charged with a crime. Therefore, this is not part of the Fifth Amendment of, the whole right to speak or freedom of speech, all that. You have to answer this question, or that's another charge.
Oh,
And I don't want to do that to
Will
you.
you please take these off of me and I will speak to you as a human being?
Nope. No.
Seriously, I'm not going to move. I swear to God.
No.
Okay.
I
What's your
swear.
birthday?
Remove these from me and we can talk.
That's
No,
not how this works.
That's not how this works.
No, I mean, I'm being honest with you.
And I'm being honest with you.
Oh,
also.
you're about
That
to
is not
catch
how
another
this works.
charge.
She's upset. She's been sick. Her eardrum's busted. She's been really sick. And she's been in a lot of pain. What escalated to all this, I have not a clue.
Man, we've been here for we sat here and talked to your son for maybe a minute and then walked inside and then this transpired.
How upsetting is it that the son has to call the police and can't just call his dad?
I've got a supervisor on the way. She is complaining of back pain. We got EMS that's going to come check her out. How much has she been drinking tonight?
Like I said, I don't know. I mean,
Enabler.
I get up at 3:30.
Enabler.
Not anymore. But I was going to be getting up at 3:30, so I was in bed about 8. So
I need to talk to how old are the kids that are inside?
14, 16, and 23.
So the one that I talked to,
The son, the oldest son,
I guess he's got longer hair.
yeah.
All right, so I need to talk to the other two and see what's happened tonight. Nothing happened between you and her. Something about a lamp being thrown.
Dude, somebody in chat said he's probably scared. When your wife is abusing your 3 children, not just mentally, because we can see the mental abuse in full technicolor. She is throwing things at them. She is scratching them. She is assaulting them. I don't give a if you're scared. Look what happened to Chad Frankie and Ruby Frankie. She had the kid. He didn't do anything for years. And next thing you know, she's out here eating what's-her-name's butthole and tying her kids up and like leaving them with marks and ligature marks all over their arms. So I don't give a shit if dad is scared. You need to do something. Those are your kids. We have seen it on the news. So like, no, absolutely not. Like, no.
No, it wasn't a lamp. It was a fan.
It was a fan.
Oh, is that better, Dad? Is that better? She didn't throw a lamp at the kids. That's got glass. That's bad. She just threw a fan. What kind of psycho throws a fucking fan at their kids?
So what were y'all arguing about? Or what was she mad about?
The kids wouldn't do some cleaning or something, is what she was saying.
So she threw it at you?
I didn't do enough to the kids besides telling them to go to bed. So then she took it out on me.
I literally walked out with y'all
And we told you to stop walking multiple times.
because
He tried to grab you to tell you to quit walking, and you turned around aggressively on him.
Sir, pick me up
No, ma'am.
because I didn't want that to happen in front of my kids. Please pick me up.
Oh, we could have had a civil conversation up there, and
But you chose not to.
you chose not to.
7.
No, sir, you chose not to.
Okay.
Will you please pick me up and I will gladly walk with you back up there. And I won't move because I know if I move right.
Here's another thing. This whole time, she's been bidding for allyship with the officer. She's looking for a moment where she can be treated as equal. She wants them to take the cuffs off so that she can go back inside the house and show the kids and the dad, you have no power here because I was able to manipulate the cop. And when she gets a little tiny bit of that power, she's going to try to reach for more and more and more. She's going to feel so confident if she can just get these cuffs off. So it's really important for the officers to keep the cuffs on her.
Now you're going to shoot me.
I wouldn't do
And
that.
now you're going to shoot me.
And
What
I will
the?
gladly walk with you back up there. And I won't move because I know if I move right now, you're going to shoot me.
I wouldn't do that.
No. Seriously.
You know what I mean. Is that number 8? I can't do this. We'll keep it at 7. But what was that?
I'm walking down the street.
You are not walking anywhere.
Yep. Okay.
Sir.
Are you trying to catch more charges?
Sir.
Because I am trying to
He's
talk to you
doing
reasonably.
so
I'm
well.
trying to talk to you reasonably.
But you got to understand, we have a procedure we have to follow. At this point, you're under arrest. We came for an
I
investigation.
haven't touched anybody. I haven't hurt anybody.
Yes, you
I
have.
haven't done anything
Yes, you
to
have.
anybody.
All 3 of those
Y'all
statements were
threw
lies.
me on the ground. I am asking
It's
you.
also crazy how often these people will straight up lie. She just said 3 lies back to back and then kept talking. It is crazy how often these people will lie to your face and then just keep going. And then, do you know how exhausting it is to try to pull them back to reality and call them out on those 3 lies? You don't, because you're scared or it feels emotionally exhausting. If somebody lies to your face, even if they glaze over it, and you don't know what to do and you feel unsettled, the first thing you should do is not trust them. If somebody lies 3 times to your face, do not doubt yourself. Do not go into that world of maybe I'm the problem. Maybe I'm making this up. Say, hold on a second. I'm not going to trust them and I'm going to trust me. You can trust yourself so much more than you realize, okay? I said this before in another video. If it felt bad, then it was bad. Your body knows, your brain knows, and you can trust yourself. This lady, dude, she is a nightmare.
Y'all threw me on the ground. I am asking
that's
you
number
to
9.
literally go.
9.
There.
So at this point, though, because you are under arrest and in handcuffs, they do not come off until we get to the jail. That's just how it works.
I will not. I don't accept that.
I don't
My
accept
lawyer
that.
is literally in that house right there.
Okay, that's fine. Once you get to the jail, you can call them.
No, please. That is literally my house right there.
Okay.
Please go talk to my family.
Somebody else is up there talking to them
And
right now.
I will go with you.
No.
I have no problems going with you, but y'all literally threw me on the ground. I literally walked out because that's what y'all wanted.
And we told you to stop multiple times. Did we
But
not?
I did what you wanted. You told me to walk out.
We never
Oh
told
my
you to walk
God.
out. You made that
Yes,
decision
you
yourself.
did. Sir.
What is that, 10? 10.
Here, take
10.
these. Can we walk up together?
No.
I will walk up with you.
See, I'm telling you, this is exactly what she wants. Do I see this? Do you trust me? Do you believe me? What she wants is to appear like she is a unit with the police officer, or to seem like she is equal or has some power with them, so that she can present it to the family and show, hey, you have no power here. Even if it's fake, even if it's for a moment, even if it's for a glimmer. She is so desperate to take these handcuffs off and have a little bit of physicality so that she can rewrite the narrative in the way that she wants. And that right there is terrifying. These people will take a little piece of power that they manipulate you into, a little crumb that you feel like is enough to give them, and then they will blow it up into a whole new story. And suddenly you're in fucking Wonderland and you're like, how did we get here?
This is embarrassing as
I don't care.
I understand that, but your actions are what got us here.
No, you
We
and
tried to
my
come talk to you.
actions.
We tried to come talk to you respectfully.
No, you didn't.
We'll wait right here.
No, we're gonna go up to my house.
Have a seat.
Please.
Have a seat.
No.
Have a
Please
seat.
take the fucking handcuffs off of me.
That's not how this
I am
works.
50 fucking years old. This is bullshit. I want my neighbor.
Have a seat on the curb.
I want someone who cares about me.
Have a seat on
I
the curb.
want somebody that I can manipulate. I want somebody that is dumb enough to think that I'm a good person.
She was sitting at the table. I was outside looking for frogs. Came inside, and she went on this talk about how she doesn't want to be a parent anymore.
Okay.
And I was just like, okay, well, f*** me. Like, you chose this. There's not really going back.
Saying that I don't want to be a parent, or making your children think that you didn't want them in any capacity, is one of the most fucked up things that you can ever do. It ties all the way back to their birth. And then anytime somebody rejects them or abandons them, which happens all the time, rejection, abandonment, they happen, right? Or somebody makes them feel unwanted, they are going to take a little train straight back to you, where you said, well, you didn't want them either. And then their final conclusion is going to be, I should have never been born. I don't want to be here. I should have never existed here. I mean, have any of you guys ever experienced that before? Especially if your parent made you feel like they didn't want you for some reason. Hey, one day when I have kids, I'm going to make fucking sure that every month, no matter how annoying it is, I'm going to give them some big fat fucking reminder of how happy that I am that they're here, and how much I wanted them, and how much joy they bring into my life every day. Because it's crazy that sometimes we don't realize what that does, like, to a child's brain. And to say the opposite, or to say nothing at all, is just crazy.
And then she like slams open the door and she starts yelling at me about how nobody cares about her, and like she gives her all to us, and like we're unappreciative and all that stuff. And I was just like, I texted my brother Tyler, and I was just like, hey Tyler, I need you out here. That's Rose. I was just like, I need you out here because I'm not comfortable. So Tyler came and he was just like, what the f- is heck's going on? She was just like, well, Amber, you need to take your meds.
Somebody saying to you, you need to take your medication. I will say, okay, maybe not every single percent of the time, but if you feel like it's coming off in a malicious way, what they're trying to say to you is, you're not well. You're crazy unless you take that pill. You are completely unregulated in some capacity. If it feels like it's malicious, that person can go themselves. If it's like a nice little friendly reminder, then like, you know, whatever. But that was dirty.
So I took my meds and I went downstairs. And then she called me on the intercom and she's just like,
Intercom?
get your ass up here. Something's not making sense with your meds. And I was just like, okay. So I come
Something's
upstairs
not making sense.
and she's just like, fill your med case. You're not taking your meds.
Wow.
And I was just like, okay. I haven't missed my meds in weeks.
Wow.
I was just like, okay, I'll go fill it in front of you. She went on this talk about how I was a terrible person and that she lost all trust in me.
Wow.
Because I wasn't being there for her
No.
when I'm trying to prioritize my mental health. I was just like, okay. And Tyler was also in there when I was filling my med case because I got him. I was just like, okay, I'm going to go back downstairs and go to bed.
Why didn't you come get me?
Because you yell when I get you. And so I go downstairs in my room, I close and lock the door because I'm just done. I want to sleep.
Wait, somebody in chat said, maybe just personal opinion, but it's okay to be overwhelmed or overstimulated with your children. It happens to the best of us. They said, but what isn't okay is anything like this. Da, da, da. Dude, yeah, I mean, sure, of course people get overstimulated with kids or whatever. You know what you do? You keep that shit in your head, or you go talk to your partner or go talk to somebody that you can, or, you know, if you don't have anybody to talk to, unfortunately, baby girl, you got to keep it in your head. You cannot sit down the toddler and be like, you are the problem. Because if you do that, I have no problem telling you that is crazy. That's crazy. Go call the pastor. Go to the church. Something. Okay? I get it if you're stressed. Don't take it out on the kid. Don't. Because some shit that is just a Tuesday for you, they're going to remember for the rest of their life.
She comes downstairs banging on my door. She's just like, get your ass upstairs. You have to do all the laundry.
Wow.
And so I'm helping her fold the laundry. And she goes on another talk about how I'm really disrespectful. And throws a pair of jeans at me, like a hot pair of jeans at my face. Okay. And she's just like, pick that up. You did that. You threw it there. Pick that fucking thing up.
If you believe this child's account of events, I do, would you classify this as abuse? I'm going to say hard yes, this situation alone. And the problem is when this stuff gets normalized in the home, when the dad doesn't do anything, when you have just basically gotten groomed into this type of behavior, and then nobody's like hitting you or doing certain things that you classify, well, that's abuse. You tend to gaslight yourself out. You gaslight yourself out of it and you think, this isn't abuse. I'm making this up. Please know that if any of this shit happened to you, anything she's saying, you are not overreacting. You are not making this up. Everything, this is not normal. It is not normal by any stretch of the imagination. Please, my God, if you've been stuck in this world for fucking 20 years, or even if you're out of it and you still think like in the past, like, yeah, that's just how my mom was. Well, guess what? Your mom was abusing you if this type of shit was happening in the home. Psychological abuse is very, very real. And I hope these kids realize when they get out, or if you're somebody that was raised in this environment, honey, sweetie, baby, I am so sorry. You were raised in a war zone. This is a psychological war zone. And when you get out of it, you are going to be so much smarter, you're going to be so much sharper, and you're going to feel things extremely deeply. And once you figure out everything and you get out of this, I will say you are going to be one big, bad, powerful motherfucker, okay? Once you realize that it was all a facade and you get out of the war zone, you're going to be a fucking badass.
And I told her, no, you threw that at me. It's not happening. And she's just like, no, you're being disrespectful. Pick it up. And I was just like, give me a minute. And I was doing lots of deep breaths, and I walked into Tyler's room, and I was just like, Tyler, I'm not safe.
Right.
And Tyler comes.
She knows.
So we're done with the laundry at that point.
Careful.
So I'm just kind of standing there, and I was just like, Mom, this is what my therapist has been saying. What you're doing isn't okay, and we need to work on that. She told me, she's just like, Ben thinks you're a whore. Ben is my therapist. Tyler was there.
I'm not going to make any commentary. Just take it in. Just take that one in. Thank you.
like, you don't tell your child that. And she starts yelling at him because Tyler's trying to protect me. She's just yelling at him to get out of the house. I wake Dad up because I'm just like, this is getting to a point that it's not safe for anybody.
Right.
So I wake Dad up. And
God, they
like,
got more clarity than...
You need to come help us and everything. And Dad tells Tyler to go to bed and me to go to his room. I had to go downstairs to grab my stuffed animal. And every time I walked by her, she told me, "Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you," and put her middle fingers this close to my face.
That's abuse. That is abusing your children. If you're telling your children that they're a whore, flipping them off and saying fuck you, that is abuse. No questions asked. And like, also, sometimes I see this shit in my YouTube comments where some people are making excuses for this. Do you know why people make excuses for this behavior? Because they do that type of behavior and they want to feel, no, it's actually not that bad. Guess what? It is that bad. And if you're doing that to your kids, you're abusing your kids. And if you are a kid that you're experiencing that, you are being abused. There's no question asked. Like, I am not being dramatic about this. This is not over the top. Like, this is abusing your children. Point blank, period. Keep her in the fucking cuffs.
I came back upstairs and I sat down, and Dad sat down in bed next to me and he pulled his phone out. And Mom walks in and she's just like, "You need to deal with this." And Dad's just like, "I will in the morning. You are drunk."
Someone in chat said, my dad calls me a whore all the time for no reason. Something is wrong with your father, okay? You said he does it for no reason? Girl, let me tell you what the reason is. Because your dad's a fucking weirdo. Who does that?
And she goes up to Dad, grabs his phone, and like tries to rip it out of his hands and keeps pulling and pulling and pulling and then picking it up and throwing it across the room. And it hits the wall. Dad's just like, "What the fuck?" And she, you know those fans, the floor fans? She threw it on the floor. And Dad got up and picked the fan up. Don't stare at me like that. Picked the fan up, and then she proceeded to pick the fan up off the floor, put it over her head, and throw it at my father. Like, trying
Wow.
to...
Oh, the fan was thrown at him. I'm sorry.
Smash it on him. I screamed for Tyler. I do have video of before that happened.
Ooh.
That stuff, if you would like to see that. And then I kind of like bear hugged her because she was trying to hurt everybody. So I bear hugged her so she couldn't like get up and hurt anybody or hurt herself. Minutes before
she had to restrain her mother. She had to restrain her mother to keep her away from people.
She was saying that she was going to kill herself and that she wanted to die. And she said that she wanted to die and it was all our fault. A few minutes later after that, she says, I want to.
Hey, that's number 10.
And it's
that's number
your
10.
fault. And she points to my dad. She scratches my arm. You can just kind of see it. She scratches my arm and she's just like, "You better get your hands off me in the next 3 seconds or I'm really going to hurt you." And so I let go because I don't want to be hurt. I'm 16. Tyler has me go to his room. We lock the door. We stay in there. More screaming happens. Don't really know what happened. But then I was just like, "Tyler, we have to call the police." I have called the police before, but the police did say I was crazy that time because she often says that she's going to kill herself. The last time when I called them, she said, "Oh, I never said that," and they believed her. But this time it got way out of hand. And this is the second time she has hit my dad. Once was a year prior when I was diagnosed with anorexia, and she pushed him up against the wall.
Did she hit me? Yes.
Okay. Where did she hit you?
In the face.
Okay.
How funny is it that he says in the face like it wasn't a big deal? Honey, baby, sweetie, brother, the worst place she could hit you is in the face in front of the children, you thick like, and then also, you know what else he's doing? You know what he's doing that really pisses me off here? One, you're normalizing spousal abuse in front of your kids. And two, you're teaching your kids, you are teaching your daughter and your son that they should brush off being slapped in the face. The world is testing my patience. This is a test.
There really ain't no other way to put it. This is just at night. 100%. There's no way around it.
Yep.
I mean, it is what it is.
Does anyone up where you are need EMS to check on that?
Do you need anybody?
No.
Anybody?
I need a therapist.
What I need everybody to do, so you were just called over here. Where do you live?
I do.
You do live here?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So what I need everybody to do is just write down your names and phone numbers. I also need birthdays, okay? So has this ever happened before?
Oh, or she gets really drunk and loses.
I will say for the dad, and not like defending that behavior per se, but sometimes I try to explain things so we can understand it a little bit more rather than just like bad, bad, bad. He doesn't have the tools to confront her and push through the other side. With people like her, there are so many layers of tools they use. Normally, if you confront someone about their bad behavior, in an ideal world, they have a conversation with you immediately because they care about you. In a lot of cases, they might push back once and you have to feed them a little more accountability. Shit, a lot of normal people might even push back twice, and you got to be strong and push back and give them a little more accountability. But what we're dealing with her there are 12 fucking layers of hell, okay? And he does not have the tools or the fortitude to push through all 12 layers. A lot of people don't. It's difficult. So for him, he just collapses and lets it be. But if you're dealing with somebody like that, and if you're in a one-on-one relationship and you're just used to that, maybe you had a narc mom and maybe now you feel more comfortable with an abusive partner. Hate that for you, but it happens to some people. Where I get frustrated is when you normalize spousal abuse in front of the kids in the way that he just did.
When she's sober, she's not like this at all.
How often does she drink?
Every day.
Yeah.
Every day.
And she used to not to at all.
When did the drinking start?
It started.
Somebody in chat said, BOZE, how do you deal with parents that just won't admit that abuse ever occurred? If you're older, like if you're like late teens or 20s or even in your 30s, what you have to do is you have to trust yourself and say, that happened. You have to trust yourself and say, I was abused, or I was emotionally neglected. I was emotionally manipulated and hurt to a degree that I did not like, and it hurt me. And I do not need the person that did it to validate that in any way, shape, or form, because my assertion of what happened holds much, much more weight than theirs ever did. The reason why you need them to validate it is because they have put themselves in a position that your feelings only matter if they validate it. They have created this world where that exists, but it's not true, okay? You can validate your own feelings. It's very difficult to undo. It takes a little bit of work, but the first step is just knowing you don't need their approval to know that you were neglected or abused or hurt in any capacity. I'm gonna say it again. If it felt bad, it was bad. And you can tell yourself that over and over and over and over and over again and just be sovereign in that, and you don't need anything from them. Because the reality is, a lot of times you are never going to get it from them. But if you can get it from yourself, that actually means so much more than getting it from them, because when you get it from them, it's hollow and it's under pressure.
All right, I'm going to read this to you real quick.
Oh,
My Miranda rights.
we're back.
Yeah, I don't get to. That's fine.
So I understand that, but I still have to read it. If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, one will be appointed to represent you
Please
before any
put
questioning
me in
if you
front
wish.
of my house where nobody sees us.
You can decide at any
All
time.
I'm asking you is to literally put me in front of my house where nobody else can see this.
You can decide at any time to
Please
exercise.
put me in front of my house.
No.
I have asked you repeatedly.
It doesn't matter,
Take me out.
bitch. Sorry.
You've got me. Please put me in front of my house. Please.
Yo, honestly, turn the lights on these cars right here. Let's make it a party. Play some music. Bad boys. What you want? I would be a petty cop.
Just hang on a second.
No.
Listen, once we get our female here, that's going to put you down.
This is embarrassing as f.
Turn the lights on.
Please.
So we're going to have a female come pat you down.
I don't care.
More
We'll get
officers.
you put in the car.
It's a
No,
party.
I don't want to be in the car. Oh my God. You are such a f***ing embarrassment.
Okay.
I know I'm embarrassing, but God damn.
Oh, here comes the self-shame. She's feeling it a little bit. God, this is crazy. If you call the police on insane people like this, the cops will show up, defend you, and it might be on body cam. It's crazy.
You're saying your back hurts and your neck hurts, so we're going to get you checked
Everything
out.
hurts. Tell them to turn the lights right now, please.
Okay, let's go and walk on over to them, okay? Stand up.
Don't touch me.
Please.
I will get myself up.
Stand up.
I will get myself up, not with you.
Once you stand up, I will let go of you. I'm just trying to make sure you don't fall down,
promise
okay?
you let go of me?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Hold on, it's going to take a minute.
Shut up.
God damn it.
Good.
Yo, that's another narc tool. One of my faves. We see it all the time. They find a way to make you wait on them.
Every light off now.
Every light off now. I will not
Y'all,
submit.
Love y'all. Y'all are awesome.
Oh my God. Turn off every light.
Please. Turn into
Oh my God. Cut the lights on.
I'm not going to move. I promise. I swear
He's
to
in
God.
charge of me.
I'm not going to move.
What's wrong with you? What's going on?
Please turn off the lights. I'm embarrassed.
He's getting talk to me.
Yeah, you should be. You should be embarrassed.
Thank you. Let go of me.
Okay.
Literally, that's my lawyer in that house right there.
No, it's not.
What's going on?
Wow, and then you know what's really fucked up? If her little friend in there is actually an attorney, you know what she would do? Rebecca, do it for free. Do legal work for me for free. And you know what? Let's sue the whole fucking county. That's right, Rebecca. I am a victim, and I need you to write a cease and desist. I need you to file a whole legal complaint. I need you to sue the state. And also, can you help me out? Can you do it for free? Please. Please, bitch.
I'd love to hear what he has to say.
I'd love to hear what he says. Oh my God, that statement. I'd love to hear what he has to say. Like, you're not the one in cuffs on the curb right now. You need a reality check, sister. Oh my God. Also, she's never gonna watch this video. She's never gonna watch this video. But I just have to say it. God, lady, I love making fun of you right now because you fucking deserve it. You really think that you're like invincible. You think you're tough shit.
Mr. Reese, so this is what's going to happen. She is going to go to jail.
Yep.
And based on the injuries to your face, her hitting you, the marks on your daughter here, she's going to have 2 battery charges as well.
Yep.
And that's not y'all are not going to be the ones that have the say-so of being able to file charges or not.
What keeps these people in power is they are scared of what's going to happen when she comes home, okay? But there has to be some sort of disruption of power. There has to be. And narcissistic people like this, they will try to punish you. They will try to give you consequences after. But I'm telling you, they have actually used the maximum of their tools on you for fun, for play. They have done it before. And you think if I retaliate, if I do something, it's going to get worse. I don't know how to explain this to you. It might get like 1 or 2 points worse, but that's only temporary. In reality, they will know that you can call the cops on them again, or you can put them in court again. You can do something. Like, you feel like on the other side is death. You feel like on the other side is like you won't be able to handle it, and it will be absolutely awful. But with a lot of these people, and I should disclaimer, like, you'll have to gauge and figure it out. But with a lady like this, she has used the maximum of her tools before. She's hitting her kids and calling them a whore, okay? There's not death on the other side. And you have to have some sort of disruption of power, or you got to leave and just go no contact when you're 18. I'm really glad that the state is like, no, we got to do this.
She's also going to face 2 counts of cruelty to children in the 3rd degree.
Yeah. Oh,
The
yes.
last 2
yes.
that I just mentioned are
What county are we
both
in?
misdemeanors. But for the incident outside,
Yes.
it will be a felony. So she will go to jail for a felony obstruction. So are there any questions for me?
No.
Can I go stay at a friend's house?
Hmm?
Can I stay at a friend's house?
No, you're going to go play in bed.
Okay. And now the dad is punishing the child that didn't even call the police, the kid that got hit, and making her stay in the house.
Are you literally taking him to jail?
Yes, ma'am. I believe so. It's not my case. The other deputy's the one in charge of the case.
At least go get me shoes.
Do what?
I literally have no shoes.
Yeah, we'll work on that in a second. I think he's walking back down here.
Can you at least put these in front of me so that I'm at least like 0.5% more comfortable?
Well, only if you're pregnant are we allowed to put
I'm
people
not.
in front.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Understandable.
Just per policy.
No, see, that once again, every bid for power that she begs for, it's something that makes the officers like look like they're on her side. She wants that so desperately so that she can twist this.
So at this time, you are going to be placed under arrest, okay?
For what reason?
1, you're going to have a felony obstruction, 2 counts of battery FBA, and 2 counts of cruelty to children.
Cruelty to children! Cruelty to children!
So come on, Miss Reese. I'm going to stand up for me, okay?
No. Can y'all get me shoes first? Can y'all go in the house and get me shoes?
I want you to stand up.
Jesus.
Thank you.
Y'all, I haven't touched anybody. Oh my God, I haven't touched. Oh my God, y'all, this is so fucking embarrassing. No, this. I'm getting a divorce. This is it.
I've run out of fingers. 11? She would never get a divorce. Think about it. What guy is going to tolerate her abuse? Also, she already has 3 kids that are basically adults. She wants somebody to lean on, somebody to blame. This person wouldn't be able to survive on her own. She's not getting a divorce.
Sir, can you please explain?
Kimberly, I tried to have that conversation with you up there, and then you decided that you wanted to act out.
1,000 times.
Yeah. Yo, homeboy had a narc mom or something.
Touched anybody.
Yeah, you did. That's a lie.
I gotta reach across.
Yes, you did. That's a lie. These people will also say the most insane lies just to get you to engage and get you to act emotionally, because what they just said is so fucking ludicrous. Imagine somebody hitting you, scratching you, throwing something at you and say, I didn't touch you. How are you supposed to engage with that? Look, the best you can say is, yes, you did. Yes, you did. No other words. Just yes, you did. Bring it back to reality. When somebody goes to victim world, bring it back to reality. Narc week, narc week, narc week. Oh my God.